Well, I bet you were expecting the home studio, weren't you? Well, we're down here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, but have no fear, the daily cruise news, it continues. So, let's roll the intro. Hey, welcome to the Midships channel. I'm Corey, and yet again today, I'm serving up another sweet slice of that cruise news. Well, you saw it in the intro, I'm on the road today, and it got me thinking about today's this or that question of the day. Shockingly enough, it involves air travel. So here's the question. When you fly, are you a window or an aisle seat person? Hello, this is the part where you go down there to the comments section and let me know your answer in the comments below. Yeah, we're kind of getting the hang of this. A lot of you are answering these questions, so I'm going to keep them going. All right, I'm going to be watching for your answers, but let's get into today's cruise news. And wow, this one involves the brand new Wonder of the Seas setting off her fire sprinklers on board, as well as a woman taking a cruise ship waterslide ride from hell, and Canada finally coming up with a path back to cruising. You'll want to pay special attention if you might be thinking of cruising to Alaska. All right, so stick around. There's also several cruise ship restarts from Royal Caribbean, as well as a couple from Carnival in the news today. See, lots of stories that you need to know about. And we start today with hopefully the only problem for Wonder of the Seas on her maiden voyage. At approximately noon this Sunday, March the 6th, the fire suppression sprinkler system in the Royal Promenade on Deck 5 began to spray water all over the brand new cruise ship's interior. According to those on board, the sprinklers drenched the center portion of Deck 5, with parts of Deck 4 and Deck 6 also receiving an unwanted shower. Crew on board quickly closed the area to guests, lowered the fire doors to keep water from escaping to the other parts of the ship. And that's pretty crucial because, you know, water, it likes to find its way all over the place. So some quick thinking from those on board Wonder of the Seas. And of course, you know, I didn't show up here without a video of the incident because that'd be boring. Take a look at this. Imagine all of that water. What a mess. Just a nightmare. All told, the incident lasted about an hour and the promenade was quickly reopened, albeit a tad more damp than it was before. And these accidental sprinkler activations, well, they're not unique to the Wonder of the Seas. In fact, Royal Caribbean has had them occur on several new ships during their early voyages. Quantum of the Seas suffered a similar incident in the Sorrento's Pizza on board the ship, as well as another sprinkler shower took place on board the Anthem of the Seas when she was new. And don't think these maiden voyage mishaps are unique to Royal Caribbean. Many will remember the original Carnival Mardi Gras ran aground within hours of departing on her maiden voyage, and obviously the most famous of all occurred when an iceberg came between the largest ship ever built at the time and her journey to New York, forever sparking the interest in the Titanic story. And a piece of that story, albeit a totally fictionalized Hollywood version, likely lives on aboard every cruise ship, at least the ones departing US ports to this day, when some knucklehead inevitably runs out to the front of the ship and shouts, "I'm king of the world!" Yeah, we've all seen it.
I'm the king of the world! Wow!
Thanks a lot, James Cameron. Now, one woman aboard a Norwegian cruise ship had what is being described as the cruise from hell when she found herself stuck in a clear water slide suspended a dozen or so decks over the ocean, unable to crawl out. Oh yeah, it's a real thing, and we're going to talk about it and show you the video, just as soon as I remind you that you should join me for my Midships group cruise. The trip takes place aboard the Carnival Sunshine this October 24th through the 29th for 5 nights down to the Bahamas. The trip includes stops at Half Moon Cay as well as Nassau. Along the way, you'll have the chance to join me and other fellow members of the Midships family as we seek to have the most fun of anyone on board. If you'd like more info, there's a link to the group's Facebook page in the description below this video. Also down there in the description is a link to my Amazon influencer store. That's where you can pick up all of the exact same cruise essentials that I take with me on every single cruise. The best part about it, they all ship on Amazon Prime, so you can get them in the next couple of days. So check it out in the links below. Now, let's slide back into this story of a passenger getting stuck on a cruise ship water slide. To date, millions of people all around the world have seen the event unfold on social media thanks to a travel agent who was filming the slide at the time. In this video from TikToker YMG Travels, you can see the passenger being released from the drop slide, only to find herself without enough momentum to make it over the first hill climb. The shocked woman can be seen sliding backwards before coming to a stop in a clear portion of the ride, suspended over the side of the ship. Commenters took to social media with some interesting views on the incident. One of them said, "This is my biggest fears and they're now unlocked." While yet another said, "I can't stop watching. I feel like I'm suffocating." Well, in the end, it turns out there was a door in the slide to account for such an eventuality happening. So apart from some embarrassment, a little internet fame, and a newfound apprehension for water slides for the rider in question, and me too, this one ended up anticlimactically. Whoa, see, now I have an excuse for why I never ride the water slides on board cruise ships. Is that weird? Am I strange? Do you go on the slides while you're cruising? Yeah, I don't. You can find me in the hot tub any day over those slides. Well, there's news coming out of Canada today about the resumption of cruising for our friends up north, eh? Canada's Transport Minister announced the strict protocols on Monday, finally paving the path forward towards the resumption of cruising after the government gutted the cruise industry with shutdowns that lasted nearly 2 years. And the framework is as follows. All cruise passengers and crew must be fully vaccinated. Also, cruisers will need to provide either a molecular COVID test 72 hours prior to boarding, or they can provide an antigen test taken within 1 day prior to cruising. In addition to the embarkation testing, you'll also have to provide another test upon returning to Canada, and it follows the same guidelines as the initial testing. Cruise operators will also be required to confirm proof of vaccination, which might be easy for people coming from countries with a national digital database. However, cruisers from the US will likely be a little bit more complicated, as there's no national database for vaccinations, only county and state records. But regardless of the many hoops Canada's requiring cruisers to jump through, at least there's now a clear path forward for cruisers in Canada. So at least we're finally moving in the right direction, which means about 30,000 jobs are finally able to return to Canadians. Well, a celebrity ship is in trouble today down in Port Everglades after a reported wastewater spill. Officials at the port report that a truck hauling away oily wastewater from the celebrity Silhouette crashed into a loading bridge, causing the truck's tank to rupture and spill its contents into the local water system. All said, about 700 gallons was spilled, believed to be a mixture of water and waste from men's toilets as well as kitchen waste, all down the storm drain. Eek. At least it's presumably all biological waste and not petroleum-based. And in other news from Port Everglades, Royal Caribbean's Vision of the Seas resumed guest operations today. One of the older, smaller ships in the fleet, the 1998-built Vision, will operate a series of southern and eastern Caribbean cruises before heading over to the Mediterranean later this year. This brings the total number of ships sailing for Royal Caribbean to 20 in revenue-based operations. So, I have a question for you. Did you make it to my live stream yesterday? We had tons of folks dropping in to chill and chat live, all about the wonder of the seas. We also brought up some other really interesting topics. We talked about solo cruising, what my favorite cruise ships are, Alaska cruise recommendations, all sorts of things. I ended up streaming all told for over an hour and a half with everybody online. So if you're looking for some really cool tips for your next cruise, I'd recommend you check out at least the last 20 or 30 minutes of that episode on Wonder of the Seas Live. And don't forget to get subscribed to this channel for more daily cruise updates. If you want more behind the scenes content, you should head over to my Instagram page. It's just Midships Cruise. Here's a link as well. It might be easier. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel today. And until tomorrow, we'll see ya on the Midships.
La 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 la.